view never gets old.
Let's go.
So we kind of talked over it, but the game was laying down some backstory. Basically, the reason that Jar Rydek is here is to replace the previous first officer, who was killed during an experimental warp test they were doing on the ship that went wrong and heavily damaged the ship and killed like 20 people, including the previous XO. And we're an old friend of the captain, so he brought us in here to like fix shit.
Are there gonna be warp ghosts?
I don't think so. Maybe. I mean, you'll just have to wait and see.
Total missed opportunity. If not, you got a warp disaster. No one knows where the bodies are. Warp ghosts. Let's go.
And we have plenty of duridium in sickbay, so there's no risk of running out.
So this sounds like something they made up for the game. But this
Make yourself at home.
This was actually in an episode of Deep Space Nine that I have not seen in like 10 years and remember nothing about.
Wait, so we knew the captain. Is the captain the one who fucked everything up with the warp core? Or was that is that handed out from management?
Yeah, it's kind of implied that he may have been a little bit negligent. We will get to that in like half a minute here.
I mean, you don't join Starfleet unless you're prepared to get like your ass warped to one end of the galaxy and your head warped to the other.
I can't believe he keeps this around. Don't even know where mine is. He's still got a thing.
He likes trains. He's probably got a model train set in his quarters.
Every fucking mid-30s man loves trains.
Oh, this guy's in at least his 50s.
And it starts in their fucking mid-30s. They just look at model trains and they can't believe that is a real thing and they want it for themselves.
Can't wait to play.
I actually have a model train set. But it's from when I was a kid and doing that with my grandfather, so it's sitting in a closet somewhere.
I don't actually consider myself a man, but by far the easiest time I have getting along with like middle-aged dudes is whenever I can steer the conversation to like Napoleonic warships or something. Yeah. It's like my ace in the hole for just kind of
You mentioned that, like, in the last week of Oblivion, that was a thing that you were starting to read up on the Napoleonic Wars and stuff. Like, well, if it gets awkward...
I do sports.
Is there something
because I don't know a lot about sports, but I love when people tell me about sports.
You don't need to know a lot about sports as long as you get people talking about it.
Going where no one
exactly. You can go like, who's the best baseball player on the Giants? And they'll say some name. You go, are you sure about that? And then like a whole thing starts. You can just sit back and relax as they just go nut.
Prestigious assignments possible. And you were burning with enough ambition to
Star Trek has duridium and iridium, and I hate that there are two separate elements with basically the same name.
There's so much like that.
That is, we couldn't provide you with a warmer welcome.
There's duridium, D-E-U-R-I-D-I-U-M, and then there's duridium, D-U-R-I-D-I-U-M.
Hands full with the refit.
That would be.
Yeah, I will say I find it very charming how slow this intro is.
I don't need any pomp and circumstance.
You've been here all of 5 minutes, and already you're trying to make us more efficient.
I feel like it's effectively replicating the kind of leisurely pace of some Star Trek episodes.
The ship suffered some damage, but not nearly as much as the
I may have to pause things here for a second while my microphone stand slowly slides off the desk. Give me just a minute.
Whoa, first spotless giraffe just dropped. I'm retweeting this shit.
What?
Holy fuck. It's a spotless giraffe, bro.
Like in real life?
What is that?
Yeah, it's like a giraffe without any fucking spots.
Oh, I did see this. Yeah, at the the zoo in a place. I forget where it was.
I retweeted it. It's amazing. It looks like a donkey with a long neck.
That does look like,
are...
yeah, that looks like you had a donkey asset in a video game and, like, the ragdoll flipped out.
Crisis has been averted for the moment, so we can continue.
Leave that giraffe part in, Josh.
People gotta know.
I assume you mean the accident.
That's right. The tragic.
He looks like he should be voiced by J.K.
We were
Simmons.
on the verge of a
Yes, very much so. That was immediately the reaction I had.
Forward in warp core technology, 10,000 teradynes per second. The ability to travel at a sustained rate of speed longer and faster than we ever dreamed. What would have been the crowning achievement of my career? Right?
Yeah, I see what you mean. There's definitely the implication here, isn't there? This guy's way too horny for this thing to kill 20 people.
Wrong. We pushed her too hard, and a warp core malfunction overloaded the system, creating a pressure gradient way beyond what the ship can handle. It was heartbreaking. We lost some of our best people. As captain, I have to take full responsibility.
Yeah, but when you say it like that...
And I have to live with the consequences.
There really ought to be an option here for just like, yeah.
You have to look to the future. You can't dwell on the past.
It kind of feels like that's what this is.
There's nothing that can be done about it now.
I mean, I think that probably the correct choice in that circumstance was just a flinty stare.
If my senior staff.
Oh boy, red flags going off.
There was a lot of pushback from my former XO. I think that.
Okay, this is this is like.
I don't want you to pull any punches.
This is our Am I the Asshole Starfleet edition.
But once we decide on a course of action, I need everyone to fully commit to the mission. Anything short of that. Just
listen.
Work.
Yep, we could have avoided this if the XO who warned me about this had only been trustworthy enough for me to listen to and not always telling me no all the time like he did the time where I did it anyway and it killed 20 people. Understand?
But at the end of the day, it has to be my call.
Do you understand my expectations of you? Glad.
Okay, but are there warp ghosts? Do we get a little tickle from a warp ghost?
I feel like my career is hanging in the balance here.
Are you... Wasn't that an episode in The Next Generation where a dude died in the... Yeah.
Yes, she got a little tickle from a warp... Well, I don't know if it was a warp ghost, but she got a little tickle from a ghost for sure.
When it turns out like half the episode didn't actually happen, it was all in her head.
Oh, Dr. Crusher. Doctor.
Oh no, I'm talking about Troy. Troy was the one in that... Oh, there was. I think there also was a thing with
Beverly Crusher did it with a ghost.
Yes, that too. There was the one where Crusher got stuck in a universe that kept shrinking, which had the effect of like people disappearing from the Enterprise.
A green ghost made love to her in her bed.
Yeah.
Stronger than anything on record.
That is like among the bits and bobs that I've collected in my Star Trek bag over the years. Is that one character? What's her name? Crusher, Dr. Crusher. Yes, she fucked a comedy Scotsman.
Where I imagine
a dead comedy Scotsman.
See? Greater. But the diplomat will brief us on the details of the rendezvous.
So basically, we're being sent into the eye of a storm, more powerful than anything on record.
Well, yes. But we're taking every precaution. But I don't want to get ahead.
You're not gonna push back on me, are you, Exo?
I expect.
Huh? You gonna push back on me like the last guy did? Because he's fucking dead now. Because I didn't listen to him.
Definitely not gonna do any pushback in this game. That's not gonna happen.
The metric that for me will be the ultimate measure of your success.
Okay. What is like?
If after serving as my first officer, you don't
what is
find yourself
the minimum amount of bad decision making? I do mean the minimum amount.
What happen is entirely up to you.
Where you could like have him thrown to the brig and assume command, and someone will stick up for you.
It's been a dream of mine since before I can remember.
Like we don't even need to be exonerated at the court martial. But like,
someday.
As long as you're willing
will someone exonerate us?
You have my promise. I'll do everything in my power to see that it happens.
So,
thank you.
In previous,
Let me introduce you to the crew.
again, in previous Star Trek series, I mean, that would usually, like, the captain not being fit to perform their duties would usually be, like, the determination of the ship's chief medical officer. So I think you'd need to get them on your side before you did this.
I'm recommending the captain be removed from duty. What's the basis? Vibes.
Everyone, if I could have your
Bad
attention
vibes.
for a moment.
The vibes are not
I'd
good.
like to introduce
Did a vibe
Commander
check with this
Jar
tricorder.
Ryder.
It just said bad.
First officer.
Send your report to Starfleet Command. It's like, yeah, the vibes are real off, so I threw him in the brig.
Lieutenant Handar, our helmsman.
I just- I
read-
the best in the business.
He let a warp ghost tickle my butt.
He lacks in
So-
humility.
I pointed the tricorder at my butt, and it just said vibes in Comic Sans. No other interface elements, like no other data, just bad,
Oh
just
my
bad.
God.
Rely on his expert
bad.
counsel on a regular basis.
Pleasure.
Commander Ryder.
I would try to convince
such
the
an
crew
honor
that
to meet
he
you.
was being taken over
This
by
is
the
our technical
Borg. It would be a
officer,
very
Lieutenant
simple
Petrosi.
plan. You just get a bunch of electronic junk and slowly start gluing it to
I've been
his, like,
following your career
outfit.
for quite some time.
And then trick him into saying things that the Borg would say.
You tell him that you're gonna do a really edgy holodeck
Well, I
scenario.
have to admit, one of the reasons I followed your career is because you're part Kobliad, because of what you've overcome. Starfleet stands up for people who can't defend themselves, and you were one of those people once.
I mean,
Since
if
then,
you're just
you've
like,
done
hey,
so much to
computer,
protect
teleport the
other
captain
civilians.
into deep space.
I
Whoops!
really admire that. So
I don't know what happened. Must have been,
something of an inspiration.
I would hope
A
there'd
warp
be a
ghost.
protocol that would
Warp
prevent you
ghost.
from just doing that on a
Definitely
whim.
Set a standard to strive for.
You
Is
really
that
do know
possible?
a thing or two about me. I'm glad I could.
To what? Beam
Inspire
somebody
you.
from
But
like
it's
out into
important to
space?
chart your
Yes.
own path.
I thought the warp
You can
system
count on
can't
it.
create matter. Like it doesn't beam matter places. It just sort of reconstructs matter.
Please do everything you can to make
Well,
Commander
there's the
Ryder feel at home
transporters,
here.
and then there's the
I'll be on the
replicators.
starbase. Have an
They're
urgent
different
meeting
but
with
related
Starbase
technologies.
commander to get our authorization to get
You
underway.
do know there are
Right.
transporters in Star Trek, Chris, right?
Right, but what I'm saying is like I always thought that like
Beam
when
me
you
up.
transported
The bridge.
when you got beamed down to a planet, they were just rearranging the particles that were there to create you again.
Right. Okay.
But, like,
this
in a
is-
vacuum
this
of
is a real-
space-
I don't want to get into the debate about
If-
whether transporters kill you or not.
I'm
No,
pretty
no,
sure
I'm not
they
even
can't.
talking about that.
Engineer Chovak needs to.
I'm just saying literally,
But,
when you get rebuilt, it reassembles you via the particles that are there, and in the void of space, there are no particles. So it would have to just like literally create matter.
No, it disassembles you, sends your matter and energy pattern to wherever it is, and then reassembles you there.
Otherwise, it would seem like the obvious thing to request would be like, hey, can you build me over there and not kill me?
Oh, I think I was supposed to talk to people before sitting down. Oh well.
Whoopsies.
Is there a way to reload? Probably not a good idea. Last time, this game doesn't have a manual save system, so the last time I messed around with it,
The storm is getting worse.
Looks like they turned off the SIF.
like you had to restart from the beginning of whatever, like a title card chapter popped up, which sucks.
I saw how they did this in the Adam West Batman.
Every time we're out here, I half expect to.
I wonder if we can. Hang on. Let me check to see what happens if we just pop back to the main menu and my microphone falls on my. This is really not working. This new microphone arm is kind of not turning out so great. All right.
Have you considered having a perfect machine graft a microphone onto you?
Okay, so that just takes us to
The
the
storm is
beginning of
getting
that
worse.
thing. All right. Well, we'll see what
Looks like they
happens.
turned off the SIF.
Great. Let's get to that emitter.
What's the SIF?
Structural integrity field.
Mumblo says, Internet died, warp ghosts got my butt.
Oh, things are going great for this.
What's our time?
We're at about 37 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately can't just cut here. I mean, we could, I suppose. But if I have a couple minutes, I'm going to try to reseat this on the desk. Well,
I'm back.
Josh isn't even here anymore. Like, he's currently off, like, I don't know. He said looking for a place to mount his microphone, which sounds unspeakably perverse to me, but whatever.
Wow. TMI. Oh yeah, there is a character camster called Reggie in Next Generation of Star Trek, and he was afraid of the transporters because he's like, if they change all my molecules out, like disintegrate me, and then put me back together somewhere else, there's a chance that it's not put back together correctly. And like he had a whole problem with that. And I think there was an episode where he had to like overcome his fear and get transported or something.
I like that Star Trek's response to the problem that transporters pose is just like, shut up and learn how to do it. It's fine.
Right?
It's fine.
It's totally, just do it, bud. I mean, that's how it is in real life, right? Like, you'll see something that is, like, obviously dangerous, and everyone's like, just go for it, man. It's fine. Skiing.
Yeah, I went down a mental rabbit hole of, like, do you die and are you dead still if you get teleported once? And then...
Oh, like a vampire?
Just like... Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, basically, I asked, like, are you to become a vampire?
Cool.
If I use the teleporter.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, maybe it happens so fast. It doesn't happen fast, though. I've watched the TV shows. It takes, like, a full fucking, like, 15 seconds.
Like, here's the question, right? So, like, you've got your continuity, right? Like, your continuity of experience. The question is, does it just stop? Are you basically dead? And then whatever starts over there has your memories and is, like, picking up where you left off, but isn't you.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna get into it, but I started thinking about this too hard, and I really did not like one single thing I thought of.
I once heard about a lady who got struck by lightning and her entire personality changed. I wonder if it's like that.
What if you just get teleported and you start, like, you suck less, like, you just become a cooler person?
Man, if a teleporter could, like, make me, like, have less, like, triggers, you know what I mean? Like, if teleporting made me more chill, I would teleport all the time. If it desensitized me, and so every time I teleport, I just don't give a fuck more and more, I mean, that would be cool. That would explain a lot with a lot of the characters in Star Trek.
Okay, I think I've jury-rigged a solution here for the moment.
Great. We're good to go.
Yeah. Okay.
Good luck editing.
Where did we leave off? Yeah.
The SIF has been disabled.
Right. Okay, here we go. I typed in, there we go. That was my jury rig failing.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. That scared the shit out of me!
Oh boy.
Where goes?
Like, I expected car alarms to start going off in the background of Josh's microphone.
I'm so scared. So scared.
God damn. Oh, why is the clamp for this thing so small?
Is there somewhere in the room to mount it besides the guillotine?
No, every surface of this desk is beveled in this way. There's nowhere that this works.
Just hold it. Well, no, I guess you can't just hold it.
I mean, I could just hold it, but it would be very, like, noisy all the time.
Look,
and I only have one hand on the controller.
You get a Yeti Blue 15 years ago, and you just use that on your desk, and every time you so much as, like, caress your keyboard, it just sounds like 1,000 locusts.
I'm getting flashbacks.
Just like to anybody in the audience, yeah, no, I'm still using, like, the same microphone I've had all this entire time. And it's just straight up, it doesn't even have, like, a pop filter or anything, it's just on my desk.
I used to do, spoiler warning, from the microphone on my like gamer headset. That's why I sounded like I did.
You know what's fucked up is that I actually bet that most gamer headsets you can get these days sound better than this microphone.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. But back in the day, not so much.
No. Back in the day, it was like a tin can connected to a string. Podcasts have now become a hobby industry, like churning butter. So you can just kind of get a high quality microphone by accidentally typing microscope into Amazon.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. I got a big piece of wood and stuck it on my desk. And then used that to provide a service for the clamp to actually grab. So I think we're good for now. At least for the end of this recording session.
Sweet.
So, is everybody here?
Yes. All right, listen.
Yes.
All right.
Listen. There's only one thing we've established. If you have to cut everything that we just talked about, which I imagine you have to cut most of it, just because who wants to watch this shit? The only thing that's important is that Mumbles is right and Christian Cage is very attractive.
Yay! Okay. Wow.
All right, I'm gonna resume here now.
That's a character.
When I joined Starfleet, all I wanted was a ride out of town. But this isn't exactly how I pictured it.
On the outside of the ship?
Are we spacewalking?
No.
We are.
Sometimes it
I will
feels
say,
like part of the machinery.
Okay, so yeah, she's talking about like being sort of part of the machine, and yeah, like that.
Starfleet
of course, that's what you would expect Starfleet to be like. Is my thing.
Machine. A massive, massive machine.
Yeah, of course I do. Starfleet's an open door. We just have to walk through it.
Starfleet sucks.
I enlisted because
why?
I didn't want to wait years just to get out and see.
Holodeck engineer Chris says.
I was told I had to pick a job on the boat.
We just ask you in a conversational way. Anytime we try to ask you a question about what your preferences might be, you always get so defensive.
We asked you to bet on yourself and pick your job you wanted, and then we assigned you the holodeck haptics.
We are at the
yes.
Acknowledged. You may proceed with the recalibration.